This party started. Yes. We're still in 1, 2, 3 day balance, which we could see more on this chart. What I like to do is kind of that first down move to up move. That's going to be your box. Here's your balance with our false breakout. Not a false breakdown, but it actually came right back down, double bottom on the bottom of that box. So what we're looking for right now is, I think I have this all set up. Right now we're going right back up to the middle. So we're at the mid. That's kind of where we're seeing a little issue overnight right now. Definitely want to see us come back up to the other side of value. We want to look at where our value area is. We just throw up your volume profile. I like to do RTH only because I feel like that's the only thing that really matters during market hours. So, you know, right now, size. As of right now, you know, here's our value. Template, I think I have one value. Right. Or, you know, consolidation POC right here. And you can tell every time we hit value area high, value area high, value area high, value area high, we went down. Every time we hit value area low, drawing is value area low, value area low, value area low. What are we doing? So the best thing to do, your best risk to reward right now on ES is to long down here, back up. And then when we get up here, possibly look for the move back down. The issue becomes what you know, what it's gonna, this trend's gonna break one time. It's gonna happen. But that's why you have good risk management. If we're shorting here, you know, you kind of want to keep this stop as your stop. You know, if we're shorting down here, definitely keep that double bottom a stop. Kind of holding previous all-time highs. Previous all-time highs. Let's go. Actually, let's look at that on. I'm gonna erase some of this junk. Now look at our value area. POC kind of gave us a hiccup. We broke above. We actually sold down into it and we're holding it. So we're definitely looking for 64.86 kind of next to the upside. Upside, I really don't have this really marked up for my original from Friday. 30. So we have excess here. Nothing excess. I'm gonna take that off. Previous all-time highs. Look, we're holding very, very nice so far. We're higher, or as a lower high, higher high, lower high, kind of back and forth on top. That's kind of what we're looking at. ES. I'll have more better ES stuff when we'll get over to Motivewave. NQ. I was kind of watching this. A flag going on. Previous all-time high. Last week open held really well. You always want to mark those up. Weekly open had no wick on that weekly open. Same with NQ. Look at previous all-time highs. Kind of testing it almost halfway to weekly estimated move. Oh, no, I haven't done this one yet. Let me actually put that on. I haven't done my estimated moves. 42024. Black squeeze closed right on, right under a weekly open. We're like kind of almost, but definitely want to see that breakout to test 2400, and then we're going to test that all-time high, which is overnight session, which will be broken. You've never seen an all-time high held on an overnight session. Buy. Beautiful weekly estimated move. I'm actually going to move that up. Don't know what that is. Buy basically work pretty much very well level to level. What I do is go into 4 hour. You kind of see, 1 hour, 4 hour with extended. You just see where support becomes resistance. Right here, resistance. Breaks above, support. It just uses that level as a support and resistance back and forth. Very beautiful level to level. Came down here. Hit all-time highs. VIX hit that yearly low. That's where I was looking for the end all be all. Let's see if it could push up, Jackson Hole Friday. Definitely going to see some hedging going into that one. And we're just going to go through a bunch of charts. I'm not going to adjust my estimate. No, I'm not going to adjust the estimated moves. Apple. Pretty solid move on Apple. What I showed in chat was this kind of this weekly demand. Or was it monthly? That was weekly. Weekly demand that broke. What I like to, main thing I like to look for is in supply and demand. See if it breaks, makes a higher high. That's going to make it strong. You can tell once that happened. Continuation up. Apple definitely looks possible to go into those all-time highs. See what the fib's at. We're broke above the 707. They're rejecting at 0.5 and finally broke above. Back below. So I want to kind of see it above 233 to continue up. AMD semis kind of took a little back seat. NVIDIA earnings are coming up. AMD I'm not really watching just because it's made a move up. The only thing I'm really watching is this move, kind of the retrace down to 172, 168. Pretty sure I'm projecting at 186. I thought we would get to it, kind of just that daily high. With semis, one red day could be a couple green days. Amazon, I charted this up last week. This thing was beautiful. Just that former resistance turned support. Earnings took it under resistance. But what I like to see in these resistance turn support is when it's not tested. And what you do is you just wait for that test. Because what's the best play? Are you going to take the breakout? Yeah, 4%. But if you take that retest, 7%. So almost double. Amazon rejected the same level. I said above 233, 234, we could see all-time highs or previous all-time highs. Amazon, I do like Amazon long term, just because I believe it's underpriced, undervalued. Google, this is just on beast mode. I didn't like playing it personally into this 200 level. I feel like I took a few options over here and got hurt. Trying to play that break, finally did, rejected hard. Now it's finally going through it. But these intraday wicks are just being bought up. Not sure what that's about. Meta, beautiful estimated move, downtrend. Kind of broke really nice there. Came back, retested it, continue up. Still looking for the 800. I want to see if it gets the 800. I have here kind of a earnings candle wick, 738. Kind of watching that level. Microsoft, kind of the weaker of the bunch. I'm watching to see if it can reverse. This is kind of the consolidation before its earnings. So I kind of like to see it come back down to that and then to continue up. That's kind of all I'm watching. 516.29 on Microsoft. Not really watching Microsoft that much. Nvidia got calls, basically playing the box, but the box had a false breakdown. So I'm kind of looking for the false breakdown to revert back to a breakout. I don't know, find a picture really quick. It's kind of manipulation. No. But definitely watching for like kind of a false manipulation fake out to continue up. Risk rewards there, their earnings are way late. Next week. So I'm definitely gonna start looking for maybe like beginning of September. See if we can finally break that 184. Nice consolidation, nice backtracked in the video. When semis go, semis go. Tesla kind of definitely being strange. One level I'll watch is right here, kind of 322. It did raise prices on a few things. September is kind of the weird month because the end of September, the tax break goes away. And then they're kind of like into new territory where they've never had, that tax cut gone. So it's very interesting on how earnings are going to go for that. Bull, we have shares, entries 1377. Not doing anything. Coin, I honestly don't like this at all. So every time it wants to break the downtrend and doesn't, it's just consolidation. ETHA, we got in at 25. Just letting that go. GME, back green on GME. And just waiting for consolidation to break. Nothing special. Hood, got calls on Hood. Hood looks beautiful. On the daily, I'm gonna fill that gap. Let's fill the gap. Nice bounce off of it. What I was seeing, I wish I kind of gotten it. You can tell this is like a beautiful. This is like the trade setup I look for right here. Key, resistance, resistance, resistance. What to do? Support, So this turns into what Amazon does. You know, we'll see. It should be heading up to at least like 128, 130. That's a true break support. MSOS, just waiting on Trump on this one. Oscar, kind of watching that. Something what LLYX. I'm gonna start grabbing some LLYX shares. This is Eli Lilly. They're supposed to have a huge clinical trial finish up end of next year. Hopefully, it does get announced, but we'll see how it does at that 13 level. You know, it's kind of like all healthcare is kind of beaten down. So I'm watching that over at with Oscar. Oscar's just a long term. Rivian. Pretty sure I have a few left. Nothing special. SMCI. Very interesting here. We're coming back down to the 0.5 fib. Holding there. Kind of holding the uptrend. Might want to check this out. I just don't like how it broke off and sold off in the earnings. And kind of just seems to be going down. SoFi, banks, we got FOMC in September. I always like to see the run up the banks. I'm in at, I think I'm in under 10. SoFi. This is low. This is like a 5-year hold for me. Stocksoul, still holding those ones from 4.4. Back here. Fourth. From under 10 was a steal. See how far I could get those. GSLL. Anytime this gets to in the 10 range, I'm gonna buy. Just continue it. AVGO. This thing has been in beast mode. Remember, we got earnings calls here. There's your resistance, turn to support, and then just continuing up. Every strong push down it has, it just recovers. Boeing, I sent this to my buddy, kind of missed out on this one. This 216 level is just very, very. I used to play Boeing on the weekly and monthly chart. I rejected the gap first, but at 216 level, resistance turns into support. Costco actually came down into the 0.707. I wonder if I sent that for loss on cost or 894. I'll be looking. Oh, we got 894. That was a beautiful 0.707 fib. Hymns, I'm all out of hymns. INTC, the thing's just going. I don't really like it because I think it's just going to pull back. Oklo. Still, like, I like Oklo. Here's a play setup I like that I usually watch. You replay it from here. You replay from here, you have. I'm having a class. You have your retracement. back into your golem zone, back under 0.5, you know, your primal buying area. You have a pretty big fair value gap. You also have your resistance becomes support. And there's kind of your manipulation wick down. The only thing I don't like about Oklo, it kind of just seems too obvious. They head and shoulders. I'm kind of a little nervous on that one. But if it does reject the head and shoulders, I'm definitely looking for long-term shares on this. PDD ran. I know it had a bunch of flow. Definitely ran. I think I had this downtrend I was watching. Downtrend came back and retested at 109 level. Continuing up. Definitely want to see it get over this 120. Big, huge push on it. If it does, you know, the play setup I'll be watching for is kind of above 120. Back test go. PLTR, I just want to short this so bad, but I stay away from PLTR. Roblox came down pretty hard. There's getting a little bit of bad news. The only time, like, I don't like these stocks like this. I don't like to be the first one to short it, but it's so hard to chase because look at this run up. So I'm kind of watching, you know, 100. If Roblox gets down to 100, you know, you kind of have your retracement back here. This huge cup on the weekly. So definitely watching that. I guess 0.3. Bounce right off the 0.31382. I don't really use that one, but straight off of that. Roku. Gotta turn this up for somebody. 100, you know, definitely watching. This is a hard area for me to long into. It's like stocks like this, like you want to, like when you see this, you know, on the weekly, you're yeah, I'm not gonna short it down. I'm not the biggest fan of puts, but definitely watching. If we get down to 60 to 53, I'm definitely looking for possible like 80, 85, like leaps, and just play that range. Unity, look how much I've charted Unity up back in the day. Unity looks pretty good. I'm staying away from it. We had a nice earnings play. XPEV, remove that. Staying away from China. Same with Baba. GS just keeps going. Banks, I'd rather play SoFi with Banks. Moderna, I don't want to play that. Netflix. Let's see what Netflix has done. This is I want this split already. Monthly. Did we retrace halfway on the monthly? No. If we possibly get past the halfway mark on the monthly retracement, we could. I don't think it's going to go outside in that time, but could start heading up. 5 red weeks followed by 2 green weeks. Netflix is just its own beast. Nike, you know, definitely with the China deal. I might grab some like 4-hour leaps on this. I used to love playing Nike. This looks like pretty primed to go. Leap should be long. Snapchat. I'm just gonna take Snapchat off. I hate that app. Upstart. Not even worth trading that. That was fun, that run up. Visa, of course, you know, I play SoFi. Airbnb, like this chart on the weekly just looks not fun. Affirm, here's another Affirm, you know, beautiful play setup. Support, turns resistance, we break above, we hold support, continue up. So I should have really got calls there. So definitely watching. I don't know where it's at now. Let's see if we can go to see if support can turn in, or resistance can turn into support. Chewy. Let's play Chewy. I think I got leaps down here. I can't remember. CRM, definitely holding on to that 228 level. But of course, that's another one that looks like a head and shoulders. It's the only thing that kind of scares me. Head and shoulders could just fall down and go to 120. But CRM should be good with tariffs and stuff. Crowd. Nothing crazy on crowd. Like, just even this downtrend, you have like one green day, two green days, one green day, two reds. Don't like it. DraftKings. I'm gonna start looking into DraftKings too. I'm starting to watch those. This looks like a cup and handle-ish. If it breaks above this 45 level, I'd love to see 55.60. Should be writing all this down. I'm not writing this. I'm gonna forget all this by the time this ends. FedEx. Nothing. MA. This thing's disgusting. I got. I trade. No, I didn't trade it. I guess I charted it up. Oxy oil. Not really watching oil. Pins. Sure. Take that off. Peloton. No. Rocket Lab. I'm watching Rocket Lab. I might grab something on Rocket Lab. So I saw a few people chart it up. I'm far out. Weekly's kind of like buyers are holding it. They're holding it up. Monthly's inside. Monthly ends next week. You're pretty primed. TTD. I'm not messing with TTD. Like, that much of an earnings drop. 41% earnings. There's definitely something wrong with the company. UPS is something I've been kind of watching. Like, this thing is $88. Used to be, 202, above 200. But the only issue is feels like it starts to recover, just gets hammered down. Merck, definitely watch it above this 86 level. This could be another healthcare sympathy with UNH and all that. A lot of consolidation down here. A lot of looking good. Weekly last week was strong. Monthly, we have a strong monthly. PFE, not really. Riot, no. I see this thing is going. Living, we can hit 200. 200 would be, it's in the monthly fair value gap, but that drop, that LR doesn't look fun. Snowflake, ooh, Snow could be a pretty decent play right now. I have all this previous resistance now turning support. See, I never on earnings. It broke above, never came down. Maybe I hit that golden zone. Close. I'll watch Snow, see if Snow can take out that 231, 240. That might be a nice little play on Snow. Earnings are end of the month. Could be interesting. We have Target. Kind of haven't really watched this. UNH. Everyone's freaking out about UNH. I don't care. Yeah, it's beaten down. Yeah, it has dividend. Yeah, everyone's getting into it, but like fundamentals aren't there. XYZ. Nothing special. And there's LLYX. We'll bring up Motivewave. Few things. Motivewave, this is TPO. This is every letter is every 30 minutes. And this is volume and delta. Key thing was excess here, excess here. That's kind of what we did. We rejected here. We put in a pre-market plan. Watch our rejection, came back down, kind of still holding this little level. But we are in a 3-day balance. We have it on this one. That drew up pre-market. Do that out. Breakout, come back down. This 3-day balance is pretty well balanced. You know, that's a nice D-shaped profile. It's really balanced. So you're just looking for a revert back and forth until it breaks. We have, you know, this is kind of what I'm watching. CC486, we're only like 4 points away from it right now. I like to watch it at regular trading hours. Like this one, I think overnight we went above. See, overnight we went in it, and then right at open, went in it and dropped. So I like to keep it just simple and overnight. Should have loaded these charts. We got our new fibs. Monthly view up 63.85, 63.86. I'll type that out. If I could do these load, I should have loaded these before I started. But definitely looking for kind of the high 65.75. You know, these fibs, I don't like to, not a big fan of longing up here. I don't think your risk reward's good there. Definitely watch the 64.50 level. You see this low volume holds. If not, we'll possibly head back to 6,400. Your weekly. Drew this up last week. You kind of want this low volume node with a B shape here. When it loads, it'll show that. You can tell how more time-wise, volume-wise, we're up here. So this is huge. We got to hold this level. If not, they're going to bring it back down and then test this level. Here's this. So this is the monthly on the right. So the monthly, we kind of have like a triple distribution. We have one distribution there, distribution there, and then a big distribution at the bottom. Right now, they're trying to find value, see if the market is priced well here. If not, they think it's overpriced, they're going to bring it back down. And they're going to test this area. Maybe bring it back up. Pretty much everything I want to show. Appreciate you guys.